Thanks, boss.
Yes, we did.
Golly, Seahawks and the Rams, they duked it out. Didn't expect it to be a slugfest, but we'll start with New England and the Broncos. That was more of a defensive game. I mean, because the weather, it's tough playing in that snow once it gets cold. But a beautiful football snow game though. I enjoy a good snow game.
Me too.
Yeah,
I actually did. It was actually really good. I feel like it's so weird because when I think about the Patriots, they come off as preppy football players.
for sure.
But whenever it starts to snow, they find ways to take advantage. It's
Grit
almost
it
like
out.
they activate this certain like willpower in them every
Oh,
time, and
yeah.
they find ways to win. One thing about this game that was interesting, the play call whenever it was 4th and 1, and the Broncos was in the red zone. They had a chance to kick a field goal, and they chose not to.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about how the game ended 10-7, whenever we could have possibly had a possible true down to the wire defensive game of it being 10-10,
Mm-hmm.
and the Broncos finding a way to use their crowd, use the emotions of their crowd, use the dominance of their defense to be able to possibly win that game. I wonder if Sean Payton is looking back and like, dang, if we would have kicked that field goal, we could have had a chance to put that game in position for us to win. Yeah, I think the thing that was separated both teams was not only that, but they couldn't do nothing on offense.
Mm-mm.
Jared Stidham, he had a hard time being able to find his players. Realistically, it was just kind of an outmatched situation. You know, that defense
Absolutely.
kept coming after him. You know, which they should have been.
Right.
Something that I've been saying. That's
Yep.
what you do with a quarterback that hasn't been playing.
1,000%.
You know, just because it's like, well, he can only see that first read, but if you take away the first read, it's going to be hard for him to see the second and third read,
Exactly.
especially because
Yeah.
one, it's snowing,
Tough defense. It's
tough
snowing.
defense. You know that type of, you know, it's tough to even catch footballs in that type of weather anyway. So
Absolutely.
let alone throw it. But there's no excuse to New England finding ways to win. New England is back once again.
Hey.
We thought, well, at least a lot of football fans, including myself, thought, well, Tom Brady's gone. I guess they're going to go on a hiatus for a long time
Absolutely.
and not win. But shout out to Coach Vrabel. He won a Super Bowl as a New England Patriots, a football player, and now he's put him in position to win one as a coach.
Man, shoot, he's already a champion as a coach. He won the conference divisional championships. So, shoot, good for Brable.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Broncos will be back next year.
Yep.
But you know what's tough is there's a lot of teams that will be back next year. That's the one thing about the margin for error of trying to get to a Super Bowl. You know, you may do good one season, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get back there in that type of fashion. Meaning, you know, you win the division, you have a first round bye because you've been winning so many football games. It may not be like that. It may be a gauntlet going into next season, but overall, that is then, or that's going to be in the future. Talking about the here and now, the Patriots are back. They look promising going into this game, but the jury's still out on Drake May when it comes to what happens when you put a little pressure on him. Now, he's been blessed in some phenomenal situations right now because he has a great defense. And you know what? To his credit, he made a 50-yard run that was crucial in that game.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't a whole bunch of big splash plays, but in a gritty game like that, I'm actually very proud of how he handled it, especially being his second year removed from college football. And for him to go to Super Bowl, not too many players can say that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Patriots, they look good. It's going to be a very interesting defensive game between them and Seattle.
1,000%. I mean, you know, Drake made it be so young and to come out there. And all you're asking for your quarterback at that point in time is just don't put the ball in harm's way. Don't put it on the ground and don't put it in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a tough, slug out, grind out type of a game. I mean, minus the snow would have been a tough game between two tough defenses, slowing down those offenses. And then plus the snow element, you know, it is what it is. And I think it probably would have been the similar outcome regardless of the score. You know, whether it was a little bit higher score, a little bit less score. I think that at least what we projected that New England would have been able to, you know, outman them a little bit and walk away with the W. Stidham had a good early on, that little throw. I was like, okay, rolling. All right, now. He threw that early touchdown. I said, okay. They're not coming down here to play around. Like they're actually trying to compete and everything, but the game just kind of swung New England's away. Shout out to them, the kicker, making a field goal in those type of conditions. A lot of times we don't give credit where credit's due.
Mm-hmm.
For those guys to be able to kick that ball in those type of conditions and still make it.
Because there was a lot of special teams. They had a rough time, but that weather, like you
Yeah,
said,
man.
that football was.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
The wind's coming down. It's the snow makes like a fog mist almost because it's a lot of white you see. I mean, people really don't understand those elements and how it plays such a pivotal role on the performance level. So, anyways, they gritted it, they grounded out, they got a dub. It's good to see. I want to see what the Broncos look like next year with Bo Nix, man. They got a promising future for them, so we'll see what goes on there.
Nix.
You said something, after Tom Brady walked away from New England, you assumed that they were going to, like you say, have a hiatus away from winning for a while, at least getting to the Super Bowl. Not saying they wouldn't win any games, but I think what we're seeing is a good organization, right, making the right decisions and having a solid head coach who's coming in with the right type of leadership to bring the best out of players. Every NFL player is getting paid. A lot of them are on teams to play well to get paid. They were the best of some type of college organization at some point in time. Mm-hmm. And so they got the skills and abilities, but the difference when you're on the even playing field to where everybody's good is those extra intangibles, right? Who has the best leader bringing the best out of them? Who is helping players develop and get better and better and better year after year after year? And then what does that increase in productivity look like, right? Maybe some organizations know how to bring the max out of a player. And over year, this guy's taking exponential steps as far as increasing his skill set, right? He might have good position coaches around him, you know what I mean? That's elevating the game of the position players. And so it might be a lot of guys' names that we don't highlight on the stat sheet, that we just look at as guys who are actually playing some really good football. And so these type of teams like that I see to where you have a Drake May who's under 100 passing yards, they figure out how to win the game. Ramondre Stevenson, I don't think they had a rushing touchdown. I could be corrected. Mm-mm. But you have this, and maybe one person, I think Drake May ran it. Did he run it in for a rushing touchdown, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. And so you have a hard-fought game, and you have these teams emerge a lot quicker than other teams. That's kind of the way the game is built to be, right? They reward the teams who are maybe struggling a little bit with a high draft pick, right? So that you can retool and get kind of first pickings at the top talent. To do what? Build and rebuild to eventually get up to a place to where you can win. It's supposed to go like this. That's how they have it built. Every now and again, you have just a dynasty. But even the dynasty like the Eagles have to deal with their challenges. OCs getting hired every other season. D coordinators going out every other season. The Lions have a good, successful season. D coordinator go, offensive coordinator go. Now they're back, right? That's what balances out the game. So, I mean, kudos to New England to doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to rebuild and get better. You feel me? And it just shows a good pedigree that they have in their soil, not just on the surface level. They made the right decisions at the right time, and they brought in the right pieces, which means the organization, the GM, the president, they're making good decisions up top, and you see what it does. It can prove major benefits, especially if you get it all right. You know what I mean? What guys to pay, who to bring in, who to take a chance on. And they don't have crazy amounts of money that they're spending in one direction. They kind of have it spread out. Even for Stephon to come over there, they're not paying him out of the wazoo. They're not paying their quarterback out of the wazoo. And so it just really highlights on a good organization when you have things like that happen, because that's the way it's supposed to be. So it's obviously not easy, because you got the Tennessee Titans, you got these other teams who just kind of struggle a little bit to really emerge, like Atlanta Falcons, to really emerge. No matter how much time, something goes wrong. And we can speak on that briefly, but Atlanta just hired Kevin Stefanski, whether or not you think that's the right decision. But you see these organizations do things, like the Steelers looking at Mike McCarthy. You see organizations do things that may prevent them from hitting their arc within the reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Struggle for a while, hit your arc, get back to winning some good football, whatever. Anyways, we'll say that for another day. Let's swing it on over, man, to the Seahawks and the Rams, brother. How you feel about old Darnold and Your boy Stafford duking it out, man.
They both played good.
We're going back and back.
They both played great.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of Sam Darnold, man.
Right?
Because in the biggest moment, he played his best football.
Didn't he?
Had 0 turnovers.
Yeah, man.
Throwing the football with conviction, made some big plays to Cooper Kupp. Made some big plays to Jack Smith-Njigba. I think he had about 155 yards receiving himself. Doing what he does. He's been doing it all season. So it's nothing out the ordinary. It's just the fact that
getting open to catching passes.
Yeah. I like the whole dynamic between both teams when it comes to the receiver personnel. Let me just briefly talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I love seeing how Puka Nacua at a point in time was getting shut down. Devontae Adams stepped up.
Big time.
I like at a point in time where Jack Smith-Njigba was getting covered just enough where now Cooper Kupp had to make some big plays at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
It's the fact of having 2 dynamic receivers that can help put you in a position to win. I always want to bring that up because I was thinking about CeeDee Lamb and your boy that played for the Cowboys too. Big tall boy. Can't think of his name right now.
George Pickens.
George Pickens, there you go. And I'm thinking, man, Dallas had the same thing with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Absolutely.
Whole little detail, but that's another story for another day. But it's the fact that the blueprint that's being shown is when you have 2 solid receivers where you can't target just one receiver, you can make a very dangerous push going into the postseason.
Absolutely.
And looking at the Rams and looking at the Seattle Seahawks, I see something that's going to be very special even going into the future. But as far as right now, Seattle did a good job in this game, win this game. They had a point in time whenever they almost forked out the game and messed up the game when they had a penalty on defense. It was 4th and 12. It's 4th and 12, and
oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, 4th and 12, and you want to taunt. You know the Rams
by 10.
Yeah, and you want to taunt the Rams sideline like that. Little details like that. I know that that's a lesson learned, but a blessing in disguise.
Tough lesson learned because they could have went.
Man, it could have went the other way.
Changed the outcome.
Because it was crazy. Because right after that, Devontae Adams had a quick touchdown.
They scored real quick.
That goes to show you, it's like, man, you know, like ignorance kind of winked at you right there.
Yeah.
But because there's such a great defense, they found a way to still pull it off, man. Hats off to them.
Absolutely.
I tell you one thing. That was the number 1 defense in Seattle going against the number 1 offense. And we've seen truly why both of those opposing teams have number 1s in their perspective.
Absolutely.
Because, man, I didn't think that, honestly, in that type of game, with that type of style of play, I honestly didn't think that they was going to score more than 15 points. And it's like, really? It's because it's the number 1 defense.
Oh, yeah.
Usually against number 1 defense, NFC, AFC, I don't care what type of championship game, it's hard to score on that type of team because there's so much adrenaline. There's so much film that's been studied, plus the talent and the awareness of how these coaches are adjusting from quarter to quarter, possession to possession. I just didn't think it was going to happen like that. But, man, we got to see some really, really good football. Yeah, I think I'm curious to see what the Rams are going to do in the future when it comes to you're going to keep Devontae Adams. You know, y'all going to try to run it back with everything that you have right now. But as far as the here and now of what Seattle has shown me on offense and what they got on defense and what they have on special teams, that is one scary football team. Right?
Shoot.
Very, very scary. I'm curious to see how this is going to look because now, here's the thing, and I kept saying this. Now I want to see what New England has against this type of team. And it's like, well, man, they can't just keep proving it every single year. Well, I mean, every single week. Well, you have to prove it every single week because now it's like, now you're going against that type of defense that actually has an offense.
Right.
It's not just one or the other. I am curious to see if this officially may be Sam Darnold's first Super Bowl win ever because he has everything around him. Coaching, personnel, healthy players.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they both teams are healthy, but you got a number 1 defense where I don't know where Seattle's offense is ranked. They got to be up there.
It's got to be up there.
It got to be up there pretty high. And, you know, seeing how things go, it's going to be interesting to see how the Patriots adjust from possession to possession against Seattle. Because Seattle, they're going to be ready to rock and roll.
No, absolutely, man. What a good game. What a good game. Stafford looked good out there, man.
He did.
He looked good. It could have went either way. Like I said, both games had one call that arguably changed the trajectory of the game on the outcome. Like extremely impacted the outcome. Coaching as well as maybe the players. Like the Rams got one back because honestly, that decision to go for it when I think they were like 4th and 3 or 4th and 4 or something like that, and they were really close and they went for it and they didn't get it. I mean, that was just really good defense by Seattle. I mean, even in those challenging converting like type of plays at the 3rd and longs or whatever, even at the goal line, your boy Stafford was putting the ball pretty much where it needed to be.
Certified gunslinger. Bro.
Like, man, the defense, they were just all over those guys. I mean, you saw for that 4th down conversion that didn't go through, the guy was in the chest plate of the receiver. Like the ball went and almost hit the guy in his head and he's scrapping it out. That's how much those cornerbacks and DBs was up in those receivers. Like, so I was just also really impressed with the game that Stafford played overall. He played a winning style of football.
So they both threw for 300
right over 3.
I
I think Darnold got him by just a little bit, right? And they both threw 3 touchdowns. That was a hell of a game, man. And
374 and 3 TDs for Matt Stafford.
And you talk about going against the number 1 defense. They stepped up and did what they had to do and even overcame that really big penalty that really set them back. And then against the number 1 offense show you why we number 1 because we're going against the number 1 defense. We're still going to figure out how to get it done. Because I'm looking at, you got Puka, of course. He's going to do what he do. And you got Devontae. That's kind of the 1-2 punch. But then I'm seeing I'm seeing Matt Stafford finding other guys because the defense is so, like, well rehearsed on what they're going to do and taking out those 2. You got Parkinson. He had a big game. That tight end made a big impact on the game.
Consistent all playoffs.
Tyler Higbee made a couple big catches there. Then you had Kyron Williams. He really got involved a lot of the times, that running back out of the backfield. Mm-hmm. He kind of really hurt Seahawks a little bit because right when you think you got everybody covered, here come Kyron flying out of the backfield somewhere. It gets really challenging.
He made some crucial first down.
Man.
Toting that pill.
He can tote it, right? People don't really give him credit because they don't give him a ton of touches during the regular season unless they have to. He's got some shake. He's got some bake, and he'll try to run you over too. Like, dude is a solid all-around back, and he can catch the ball out the backfield. So Rams definitely got a bright future if they come back and retool. It's just that kind of hot and cold deal with Stafford. We'll see. He gonna give you Super Bowl, then he gonna give you, I don't know. And he goes back and forth. So, but if he can come out again with this same energy, why not run it back, man? Get a couple more weapons for him on defense. Strengthen up in those areas and bring him back and run it back again. We'll see, man.
There was one play at the end of that game whenever Sam Darnold snapped the ball, and I was thinking, man, you may have given Matt Stafford too much time. There was 13 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, you should just let it go all the way down to 1 before you snap the ball. And it was fortunate where it still worked out for them, but I was thinking, I know we're going to end up talking about that if Matt Stafford ends up coming back, because I was thinking, first play, he threw 30-yard dot, right? Whenever it was about 25 seconds left.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second one, he threw it to Puka Nacua. Obviously, time ran out because Puka was still in bounds whenever he caught the ball, right? But I was thinking, man, if they had about 10 more seconds on that clock, so if it was about 35 seconds instead of 25 seconds, and Puka did that, they probably would have stopped the clock because Puka was running back. They would have stopped the clock, probably would have left the clock with maybe about 3 or 4 seconds. That would have been 3 or 4 seconds to probably give Matt Stafford one more play. Yeah. He could try to get to the end zone.
Maybe get to the end zone.
Because really, what it came down to, in my opinion, because Matt Stafford played a great game. I mean, he threw for 374 yards, 0 interceptions, 3 touchdowns.
Come on, man.
Just ran out of time.
He just ran out of time. Sometimes you do that. That's part of the game, right? That's part of the game. And I'm thinking about that call to go for it on that 4th down when they were close to the end zone. And I don't think it was the wrong call. I think it was just, if it goes well, then you're a hero and awesome. If it doesn't go well, they can go back and reference that as maybe a bad decision because you put that 3 on the board. Now you're playing for 3. You know what I'm saying? Versus trying to play for the score. And then to your point about the timing, then you can kind of play with time a little bit more because they know that they really can't afford to give you the ball back for one drive. And so you put a little more pressure on the Seahawks just by having that 3 points to where it's you right up under there. All we got to do is get in the field goal position. It cuts the whole field in half, change the whole dynamic of how the defense is going to call plays, how the offense is going to run their scheme. They may be a little more hurried, might be a little more anxious. You never know. But those small critical decisions will come back and bite you, or they might be the reason why you win the game. So had they have a touchdown on that drive, boom, we talking about something different, but they didn't. So, man, Darnold, I'm proud of that dude, man. And even like listening to the commentators, we're just not used to giving Darnold his flowers. We're not used to saying that because, first impression, like we already kind of had our first impression about the first half of his career. I'm listening to Tom Brady, and he's like, it almost like was glitchy to come out to be like, man, what a hell of a throw by Darnold. Man, that was wow, look at that throw. Like he was talking about the receiver with a catch and da-da-da-da-da. And then eventually, like, he started warming up to being like, you know what, but what a throw by the quarterback. Because some of them balls was bing, 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 like he was putting it on the money. And I noticed something before they went to the half. I said, if Sam Darnold responds, if he comes back and responds, and they mess around and score something before they go into the half, I was like, we got us a ball game. Seahawks gonna win this game. But it depended on his mindset and how he was able to respond in a hurry-up situation. If he was going to be able to come down, bam, bam. That shows, okay, y'all are ready for the end of the fourth, right, period. Even when they got the ball in the fourth quarter, I'm like, hey, don't let Matt Stafford touch the football. It was about 7 minutes left. I said, if they're a Super Bowl winning team, Matt Stafford ain't going to touch the football for the rest of the game. Because that's what good teams do. They figure out how to not only game manage, but clock manage. We're going to make sure we get the first down at the right time. We watch Tom Brady do it forever. We watch Pat Mahomes do it forever. They're going to snails. They're going to, instead of hurry getting the first down, they're going to run it, get close. All right, bing, Matt Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? Run it, get close. All right, bump screen. All right, bink up the Gronk. You know what I mean? They kind of wait on it. They're going to drain all of that shit out, which is what they did. They just look like one well-coached team, well-balanced team, defensively sound. The offense stood up and did what they needed to do. He got everybody involved. You got Jackson Smith and Jigma involved. You got your boy Cooper Kupp involved. What a hell of a revenge game for him.
Man,
to
that's
come
what I'm
in
trying to
there
say.
and get that touchdown on them boys and send them home.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And have an impactful game, right? They treated him like he was washed up, old, soggy bag of chips and kicked him on out of there.
Yes.
I don't even think he was looking for that much money. He's just really looking for loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Some other guy named Bobo got him a touchdown. Hey, he was swinging that thing around. And so it was good to see. The running back really, to me, made a big impact on the game, Kenneth Walker, because he had some big plays toward the end. In order for you to really clock manage at the end of the game, to go ahead and seal that thing on out, right, without slugfest, because that's what people want to do, like in boxing. You know, if you're kind of losing, you're down. You know, that last little minute, you're just trying to. So maybe have a crazy knockout or something like that. Yeah, that's what they want to do. But, they slowed it down. They're like, nah, we ain't finna slug out with you. We're going to slow this thing down. Kenneth Walker was a big piece of that because he turned some of them little quick runs into 5 yards, 7 yards, first downs, boom, taking the ball, boom, not going down on the first tackle, skipping and scampering for like
that
first
crowd
down.
was there coming an extra boost too. That crowd, every time he was running.
Kidding? He get the first down. That boy crazy. It's wild, right? And then they just look like a team. And so we'll do our picks last, but they played a hell of a game, man. Who you think gonna win the Super Bowl?
Okay.
Out of the Seahawks or the Eagles?
Be honest, because we're going to have a few predictions on this leading up to it because we got 2 weeks because I may switch it. But right now, I'm going to stay with Seattle.
Okay.
I'm going to stay with Seattle because I like what they do on special teams and I like what they do on defense.
Mm-hmm.
They have a solid offense. We know that they have a solid offense. And yes, I want to see my boy Sam Darnold win one. Quick facts.
Mm-hmm.
So out of that rookie class with Sam Darnold, it was Josh Rosen.
Oh, he came in with a hell of a class.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
That's very interesting to me that he was in that class with them, and he's the first one to get to the Super Bowl.
Ooh, ain't that some shit?
Get to the Super
Ain't
Bowl.
that wild?
I know that is going to be talked about because it's like, man,
you never know.
You just never know. You just never know. And remember, he got drafted by the Jets. They wrote him out with the Jets. Well, the Jets
The
we
Jets
know what type of team they
quarterback
are.
killer, boy. They, man, I hate to say it. It's just the proof is in the pudding. They need to change the narrative.
They got to change the narrative. But just to see that happen for Sam Darnold, it's like, man, it's very interesting. And he has everything around him to make it happen. Now the question is, will they? Now, one thing I will say, even though I have been nitpicking Drake May,
Yeah.
man, let me tell you something. That's still the New England Patriots.
That's what I'm saying.
What I
they
mean
got
is
team.
personnel, team
They had a
football.
team.
They adjust very well. And one thing that makes me nervous in this game is how will they adjust to Seattle's offense? I know their defense is going to have something up their sleeve. The Patriots, period, always have something up their sleeve that they have not introduced anybody all season.
Right.
So I'm curious to see if it's a certain scheme they're going to put on defense that's going to try to confuse Sam Darnold. Is it going to be a certain type of personnel that they put in their offense they haven't showed all season? But it's going to be something. So right now I'm going to stick with Seattle, but I'm not going to ride out the Patriots just yet. I got to marinate on this for a few days.
Yep.
But right now, after just the natural adrenaline that I saw out of Seattle, I'm going to say Seattle.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm going to go Seattle, and I'm not even shaky on it. I don't think it's going to be a close game. I can see it being like, I'll say I got Seattle to win the Super Bowl, and I got them favorites by 2 touchdowns.
Like 24-13, something like that.
I think there'll be 2 touchdowns plus, right? That's just my opinion. That's just what I feel in my loins. And sometimes, my loins will speak to me a little bit. I think I have a good feeling. I got a feeling that Sam Darnold is going to hoist the trophy, and it's going to start a lot of those conversations like that you've been having leading up to this about like, man, ain't that crazy? DraftCast, all that type of stuff. It's going to make for good conversation. And I think he's seasoned, and I mean he's earned it. If anybody's earned it, he's earned it. If Josh Allen and the rest of these guys have earned it, he's earned it. He's paid his dues.
He definitely
he's paid his dues, man. And even he went through a lot more adversity they've been through. What I mean? And so I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think they're going to win convincingly. Nothing against New England. I mean, if New England wins it, hey, I'm going to be not unhappy because I don't really have either one, like favoritism towards either one. I think that'll be awesome for that organization. I think that'll be a statement. I think if they win it, you're talking about coach of the year. You're talking about like what? For that little youngster to come in this sophomore year, being in the league,
you got to
be at the helm.
Super Bowl MVP. I'm sorry.
Kudos to him.
I'm going to give it to Drake May if he do this one. I don't care how the cake is sliced, just because of him being the head of the snake, and having to still lead this team all the way to the Super Bowl. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
I don't care how you like. I don't care what it looks like. And even this year in the NFL, when you think, when I just real quick, when I think about just quarterbacks and how many yards they've thrown from, not everybody's thrown for 300 yards.
No.
Okay, like Matt Stafford been doing this since Detroit. We know about that,
right.
But like, not everybody's throwing for 300 yards. So if you like, most of these, the average throwing for quarterbacks this year was probably about 165, 175 in a tug. So for what he's doing and how he's been doing it, and him being, like you said, just the second year, I mean, that's amazing, bro.
It's amazing, man. And so, I mean, it's taking no flowers. He's a champion. He's a conference champion, and that stands for something. Him and Stephon Diggs, I think they're champions now. You can't take it away from them ever. They're in the rule books, and they got a ring and a trophy. You know what I mean? Now they're trying to win the big show to be league champions, and they're one step away. I just don't see it happening this year. I don't think New England's offense has enough firepower to get past that Seattle defense. My personal opinion. And I think that it's going to be tough learning lessons in the Super Bowl when it's not elements assisting. It's nothing like that. It's just you against number one defense. You're going to have to show up. And I don't know if the combination of that Seattle powerful offense, because New England, their defense no chump now either.
Man,
I'm just looking at
they can create turnovers on you quick now.
You know what I mean? I'm just looking at the matchup. Like, I don't know if you reshuffle that and anybody has to go through the Rams. I don't know if it's the same outcome if New England goes through the Rams. Like, I just don't know. I really don't know how the offense is going to stand toe to toe, getting hit in the mouth with not an injured quarterback. You see what I'm saying? That offense is going to have to take them punches in the mouth, and then that defense is going to have to stop the Seahawks, a healthy Seahawks, from scoring. I don't know if they're going to have enough, but I think it'd be a good story. So I got the Seahawks.
Both of them organizations have actually been doing a phenomenal job for the last decade. When I think about it, because Seattle, they just been around in some type of way. Just been around.
How you feel about the coaches carousel?
What you mean?
Anybody standing out to you more than others?
As far as coaching?
Mm-hmm. You got Stefanski down there in Atlanta. You got Harbaugh, took the New York job.
Yeah, I know about Harbaugh.
McCarthy's interviewing at the Steelers.
I don't know about how I feel about that one. As far as all of them, I mean, I'm going to have to roll with Harbaugh only because, one, I've watched like Hard Knocks, and I've listened to the way he talks to his players, personnel, and stuff. And it always seems like he's a player's coach. What I do like, I like the fact that he's kind of came into the Giants so far, and it's kind of just completely clean house when it comes to staffing and personnel, which I think is good because that's letting me know that he's really trying to establish a culture and he's trying to plant the seeds now going into the offseason. I like it. I can't really say much about Stefanski because I have to see how it will play out because Jim Schwartz was the defensive coordinator for the Browns. And when I think about what stands out whenever Coach Stefanski was there was that defense. So I want to see culturally how he'll be able to kind of fit into Atlanta.
Yep.
Okay. Because one thing I'll have to agree with Cam, that whole like with Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans, that is like the HBCU as far as division. That's like the HBCU of the NFL. So I'm curious to see, how the fans will welcome him, how the supporting cast of the staff and everything. I'm sure they love him, but I just want to see how the players, how they believe in him, because I feel like it's all about being a player's coach to be able to be successful. I feel like the Seattle coach is the player's coach. Sean McVay, player's coach. 19 years, I believe that Mike Tomlin was a player's coach. That's so it's hard to really say. When I think about Coach McCarthy, I don't know how much he's a player's coach, but I'm curious to see how he will resurrect the quarterback position and the culture of the Steelers. Will you keep that same culture? Will they have a dog mentality culture like they did with Tomlin? It's a different type of energy. So I got to see. Are you going to keep Aaron Rodgers and try to run it back like as if he was in Green Bay? I don't know. You see what I'm trying to say? Because it was him and A-Rod that won the Super Bowl, but this is a whole new era.
That's exactly what they're going to do. I didn't even think about that.
So I don't know what we're gonna get, but right now I'm gonna go with Harbaugh and them Giants. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything you just said. I'm gonna go with Harbaugh and the Giants for now. I think I like the Ravens' decision to go with a guy who take a chance on somebody, only because I don't know if Mentor is the right guy for them. Only because I don't agree with recycling so much. Like they recycle so much in the NFL. It's just like, man, but you don't see like it ever really sticking and working that well, unless it's a good coach going somewhere, right? We know the great coaches, but then generally you have these coaches that struggled and another team gives them an opportunity and they struggle, and then another team gives them an opportunity to struggle. And I'm just like, man, y'all just recycle the same guys. Give somebody else a chance. Give an offensive coordinator a chance. Give a defensive coordinator with the right type of leadership ability and skill that you're looking for a chance. Pay attention to the personnel that you have, the players that you have, the assistant coaches that you have, the culture of your team and your organization. Pay attention to those things because they matter. Football is so much more about than just top-line numbers. And so I don't know what these general managers, these presidents are just looking at top-line numbers. Oh, hey, he's a proven success. What type of guy is he? Matter of fact, what type of team do you have? What type of guys do you have on your team? What type of city are you in? What type of energy and culture and environment do you represent? Bring a guy in that represents that. Then I don't really care about all the metrics. But as long as he represents that, cool. But some of these dudes, man, they just seem like they're having a suit and tie conversation and decision on a cultural, passionate type of a deal in sport, and it doesn't always transition. And so, I mean, whatever decision they need to make, some of these ones don't make a lot of sense, but we're going to see how it pans out.
And that's the reason why, and to your point, that's the reason why I'm glad Cleveland is taking their time. I heard in rumors they're interested in one of the offensive coordinators for the Rams.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you need some more youthful coaches, a different type of energy of some sort. Because the thing is, even though the old school coaches that's been there, they have history of, okay, you winning. These kids, these athletes, they're getting younger. So they are like, what have you done for me lately? Type energy. I don't even know your history like that. I only know it from like maybe my uncle, you know what I mean, or my pops or moms told me about it or something like that, or an older mentor. But I don't really know. I didn't grow up with knowing what kind of culture you are. So whenever I come in, I'm in a completely new era and everything. So when it comes to coaches being able to relate to their players, you need a coach that's a little bit more open. Now, the reason why I bring up still Harbaugh is because he truly is a player's coach, because he's very open and receptive to new energy.
Absolutely.
There's a difference. That's why Pete Carroll was so good for so long.
For sure.
He was open and receptive to new energy.
Big time.
So as long as these coaches are open and receptive to new energy, then it'll be great. But in order for that to happen, it also depends who these head coaches, who they hire as their coordinators. So if you want to stay there at the top, you're probably going to have to have some youthful coordinators. That's just how I feel about that one.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.